Hello, guys, and welcome back to episode 2 of In the Vault with Ali and Shane.
Woo! Number 2.
Woo! Ep 2. How are you feeling, doll?
Well-
That was like your first foray into podcasts ever, right?
Yes. And also the editing was insane.
Yeah.
I did get a little bit of feedback about the editing. I don't know if you did, doll.
She's feeling a little bit sensitive about it, guys.
Okay, we get it. We all have to start somewhere. Okay, we all have to start somewhere. But I will really, really, really try to do better this time.
I'm just going to literally spill the tea that we had actually recorded this episode a week ago.
We did.
And we lost it. So we were together in Sydney at my place and we tried to use an app.
Riverside, I'm going to actually call them out here.
You're outing them. Okay, we tried to use Riverside.
I'm at my wit's end.
Yeah, well, Ali, you can speak more to the footage because I didn't actually see it. It all landed on your end.
Neither did I because the footage actually wasn't there. Half of Shane's footage was not there. And you know what? We actually finished the podcast thinking, wow, that just flowed. Wow,
yeah,
we
it was
did
great.
So well. Let's see if this one does any better.
Yeah. How's your week been, doll? What's been happening?
It's been really good. I'm feeling like I'm a little bit more back to reality. Last week, I was at the F1 in Melbourne, which was unbelievable. It was my first F1 experience. And I went with Mecca Max.
Oh, okay. And they had like a little activation going on there?
They did. They had the beauty pit stop, which was back bigger than ever. And essentially people could go in there, purchase their Mecca Max products. And you could also go in and get like a little top up for your face, which was perfect because it was so hot when I was down there. Oh, and they also went to the House of Sephora event, which was amazing. House of Sephora, they do it once or twice a year. And essentially they showcase all the new products that are coming into Sephora. So Hourglass was there, guys, which, you know, as we know, was nabbed from Mecca. Makeup by Mario was there. Natorium was there, which is Susan Yara's brand. I got to meet her. It was unbelievable.
Can I say I am so jealous about you meeting Susan Yara because she's on my dream meet list. I think like I love Natorium as a brand and I love her as a creator as well.
She is so nice as well. But yeah, who would know that Sephora was at a $70 million loss?
Yeah, it was like 73, right?
Yeah. Can we talk about that for a second?
We've spoken about it a little bit off cam. I do think as well, I think as consumers, like we look at losses and pluses and these numbers are kind of thrown at us. They're not always a reflection of the actual situation of there's like obviously an operating profit and profit that you make from selling product, right? I would assume because Sephora has just shot up so many locations relatively quickly. Think of Mecca even 10 or 15 years ago. I used to have to come to the Mecca in the city or Bondi, and that was really it from my place. When you think of Mecca today, like I can throw a stone and hit a Mecca store. I think relative to like when they launched in the market, Sephora, they've really done a good job of trying to compete with Mecca and launching really in every capital city and like multiple locations across each capital city.
I feel like Sephora's only really had its comeuppance in the last 3 years. Because before that, I would say I did not go in there for a specific item. Whereas now I'd be like, oh, I need something from Color Wow. I need something from Dior. I need something from Makeup by Mario. Whereas before, Mecca had all of those brands.
I think the journey's actually been, from a PR perspective, really strong. At least I can only speak to it when I worked across the account. The amount of press they got was really, really high, which is obviously amazing for them. And I do think, like I said earlier, they've done a really good job of rolling out stores at the speed they've done them. I do think that cost takes time to make back, you know?
Yeah.
You don't make money back overnight on an operating cost, you know? So I think give it time. And like you said, I think it's really exciting to see some great brands launching.
1,000%. I think that is bang on the money. Everyone's saying, oh, they're operating at a loss, they're at a loss. Well, they probably don't actually really care because they have such a monopoly on the US market, on a lot of, I wouldn't say Southeast Asian because they have like their own like K-beauty, J-beauty. But in Thailand, they have like a big monopoly. In Europe, they have a big monopoly. So it's like they're using all those funds as well to come into the Australian market. So they're probably not too phased about this $70 million loss. They're probably just like, we're in a growth phase. So we're happy to take that L to then start bringing in some more brands and expanding it. They're expanding in a different way that's not just different places to shop. They're expanding in their lines. And I think that that's actually where they needed to be. But enough about me. Enough about me. What have you been doing this week?
I have actually been in South Australia. We've both been traveling. It's been busy weeks for all of us.
Okay, points.
I know. So I was there as part of a Tourism Australia initiative that Jolique, who I work for, was a part of, which is really exciting. We hosted some international media and influencers at the farm. If you don't know, we have a biodynamic farm based in the Adelaide Hills of South Australia. I always say when I need to touch grass, that's the best place to do it.
It looks so nice. Whenever you go to the farm, I'm just so jealous.
Oh, I love it. And like energetically, it's just so grounding. I don't know if it's like the quartz on the fields or whatever it is. Something about it. You just feel so at harmony with nature.
Oh, wow.
It's gorgeous.
I mean, I'd love to experience that, but I've actually never been invited. So.
Oh, well, we'll get you there one day, Dom. And then I also, off the back of that, had another event in the Barossa Valley, and that was beautiful.
Is it hard not to just drink a little bit of wine and cheese and then just, stop caring?
I drank wine, ate cheese, and still got the job done,
Yeah, that's the best.
I was feeling a little bit tipsy packing down the cart. I had half a glass of rosé and, it was really, really good and very work fulfilling week,
Oh, nice.
which always feels really nice. I've come home and I'm exhausted now, but we go on and then I'm heading to Orange I feel like I'm spending my days in the country. I feel like I'm a farmer. But yeah, it's exciting. It's been a big week, but it's good.
And full disclosure, we are filming this on Friday. So we've both had quite large weeks and we're just trying to keep holding on for this podcast. Chuffing along we are. But yeah, is there any beauty recs that you have for us?
Yeah, something that's really gotten me through the week last week was my Bioma. It's like a milky cleanser and it was the perfect cleanser for South Australia. It's, for context, guys, if you've never been to South Australia, it's quite a dry heat. Whereas in Sydney and Brisbane, it's very humid. So your skin's dealing with a whole new temperature essentially and like a whole new climate. And it really helped calm my skin, I think, and still cleanse it, but do it calmly, which, yeah, I've been loving it. What about you, Doll?
What am I recommending this week? Okay, this one, it's slightly on the expensive side. And when I say slightly, it's very expensive. If you suffer with rosacea or really red skin, and you have that little bit more money to spend, I definitely recommend getting this product that I got from my facialist. It's called the Osmosis Rescue Serum. I have not noticed a difference in my skin in like 2 to 3 uses ever, and this product has done that for me. It calms my redness like nothing else.
Wow.
It's definitely an investment product.
So what are we talking? Spit it out. Give me the price. Come on.
Gosh, I've got to have a look. Okay, let me have a little look. Hold on to your boots, people.
Whoa.
Oh my God. So I've stopped getting fortnightly facials and I've started using this serum, and then I get a facial once a month to manage my rosacea. It's $253.
Okay. So definitely something you would save for.
It's a saver.
Also, I always say hold on to it and keep your eye out for a dupe. You know what I mean? As much as I hate a dupe, keep your eye out for something similar. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Doll, I need to talk to you about something. I don't know if you've seen this yet, but I am obsessed. The Devil Wears Prada, they've dropped like kind of a second teaser.
I'm so excited to see that movie.
Yeah. So they've dropped a second teaser. They've given you a little bit more context. I feel like the first teaser was so broad and it was kind of just like visually catching, and like there was maybe a few words from Miranda Priestley and
like proof it was happening. Like
for sure. It was
happening.
Like this is locked in. And they've also dropped the poster. Have you seen the poster yet?
No.
It's getting dragged.
They're on the stairs? Oh, wait.
Correct.
Why are they getting dragged?
Yeah. I think people think it's a little bit basic for like a Devil Wears Prada. You know, when you think of the first one, it was the Devil's Pitchfork. It was very kitsch. It's fun, but it was very considered. You know, it's a stiletto with pitchfork.
It was reminiscent of the book. So that was the book.
That's right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, correct. But it was very chic and thoughtful. This feels like a little bit, I don't want to say of an afterthought, but I saw someone say it reminds them of like an America's Next Top Model um launch photo, and I thought that was so funny.
Oh, now
And
you
very
say that.
relevant. Yeah, it is. It's a little bit like Where's Tyra?
When I heard The Devil Wears Prada was coming out with the second film, the first thing I thought was they better have the best script
Oh,
because
for
it will
sure.
get torn to shreds
I
if it
think
doesn't.
it's so cult, like it's so cult status, the first movie, that look, I think it's gonna struggle to hold its own in comparison to the first. I think anything that follows it, especially when there's been such a gap. There's been like what, 20
What?
years, maybe 15, 20
Yeah.
years since the movie
What is the
launched.
story going to even be about? Because print media is pretty much dead.
Well, it seems like Emily Blunt is the head of it seems like another competing magazine. It seems like that's the potential case based on like kind of what they're teasing. And it's Miranda Priestley, but I don't know how Andy Sachs comes into the mix. That's the only thing I'm a little bit confused
Yeah.
about. It seems like she might be back at Runway, but like at what capacity, I'm not too sure. I'm really excited to watch it. But the one thing I'm even more excited about, if you know me, you know I love movie merch. And they've released this red bag.
Brilliant.
I'm obsessed. I think that's the smartest little marketing ploy
This is so
I've
good.
seen in a while. I'm hoping they launch in Australia. Fingers crossed, because I will be getting one.
Is it, do you think, an actual bag or do you think it's a cardboard bag?
No, I think it looks plastic. It doesn't look
No.
cardboard. It looks like it's like a plastic or
It
something.
looks 3D.
Right? Looking at it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
rounded.
It doesn't look like paper. It looks like it's like a keepsake.
Wait, Shane, can I tell you the most embarrassing thing that's happened to me today?
Tell me.
So, if you don't know me, I put my foot in it constantly,
Oh.
always saying something and then trying to just dig myself out of this hole that I've created for myself.
She needs a little spade on hand at any given time, I think.
Oh, man, every single day. So today I was texting this chick. She puts up a story. She's in a bathroom and behind her is the scariest old woman painting I've ever seen in my entire life. And I message her and oh my God, where are you? That's so scary. And she's like, I'm at home. Why? And then she must have like looked at the photo and then she messages back and goes, that's my grandma.
Oh my God. Wait, do you have the photo for reference? You need to pull it up.
I can't share this photo. But it was like a painting of her grandma. It was
Of the grandma.
all dark and she was wearing this like dark, like high neck thing. And I thought she was in some sort of dungeon or something.
It's giving a rich, scary portrait, you know?
It was. Yeah. Anyway, so I just deleted the whole conversation. So she would have gotten these little message pop-ups. Deleted comment. I was like, let's just pretend this never happened. I'm not going to reply to that. And I'm just going to delete everything. Don't talk to me about it again.
Doll, should we talk about this week's topic?
This week's topic is worst dates.
We've all had one. We've all had one, if not many.
We've all had at least one. And if you're
Yeah.
a woman, you've had about 10.
Yeah, for sure. If you're a gay man, you've probably had about 20.
Okay, so what's your worst date story? I need to hear yours first.
I'll take it back to 2016. So I was chatting to this guy on and off for like 3 or 4 months. I feel like there was a big period in my life where I just like was not interested in going on dates with people. I was just like so not bothered. I was just in my own element, doing my own thing. After months of talking back and forth, he keeps asking me out and I'm like, oh, fine, I'll go on this date. He's good looking. He's really nice. He is obviously very keen to go on the date. So I'm thinking, okay, let's just go for it. So it starts with him asking me to meet him in Mascot. So anyone that doesn't know Sydney very well, Mascot is like airport adjacent. Not that there's anything wrong with Mascot. I grew up in Matraville, not too far from Mascot. We meet in central Mascot and he's like, oh, it's just a short walk from here. I'm like, cool, whatever. We walk around the corner and it's 10-pin bowling. which I think is just such a random first date. Keep in mind, I'm 25 at that age. If I was 18, I might have been like, oh, cute, like 10 pin bowling. I'm like 25. I'm thinking we're going to like a cute lunch or, you know what I mean? I'm thinking we're like doing something a bit more adult coded.
Couldn't you have found some bowling place that was closer to you, or you could have met in the
Literally.
middle a little bit more?
Or like in the city, take me to like Kingpin or whatever it's called
Yeah.
in the city. Anyway, we get there. There's like 4 kids' Christmas parties around me. It's so loud. You're wearing those hideous like clown shoes. And I'd never played bowling without having bumpers on. He was like, "Are you okay with unbumpered?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay with unbumpered." Like,
And
you know what I
also,
mean?
wait,
I'm playing it cool.
but also, can't they bumper up and then bumper down? So you
No,
get bumpers,
it's
he
like
doesn't?
no, 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 no. It's like old school. You know what I mean? You have to select one that with bumpers or without.
Oh, he could have bumpered.
I know. But anyway, didn't want to bumper. Yeah, we play the game. And can I just say, I, by a shock, win.
Do
I win.
you?
He's horrible at bowling. I'm like, why would you bring me to bowling if you knew you were going to lose? You know what I mean? But maybe he did it to make me feel better. Who knows? Didn't work. Anyway, we then after that, he's like, "Do you want to get some lunch?" I'm like, "Yeah, cool." We take about 15 steps to the food court there and we share hot dogs and chips.
Were you in your vegan era at that time?
No, I wasn't yet. So I wasn't mortified by the idea. Safe to say, we never really recovered from that date. And after that date, we just had, I don't even think we kissed. I think I hugged him at the bowling thing and I was like, I just gotta go.
See, I don't think that bowling is bad. I think it's actually, there's an activity involved, which I think is quite a smart thing to do. You're not just like sitting down and having like a D&M with someone face to face. It doesn't have any potential awkward points. So maybe that's where he was sort of going with that.
I feel like bowling is such an individual sport in the sense that you're getting up to bowl and they're kind of watching and standing back and then you're swapping.
Yeah.
It's not really a thing you can talk at. You know what I mean? It's like you kind of just have to take turns and then it's done, you know?
And also, I think that it's also the problem of this person has chosen something that is way out for you. So meet me in the middle a little bit. I always found it so annoying when I would go on a date with someone and then I'd find out that they lived 5 minutes up the road and I had to travel 30 minutes.
Selfish.
It's selfish. Selfish behavior.
I'm so ready for this. Tell me your worst date.
The amount of dates that I've had that have just not done very well. I think the one that stands out the most was there was this guy and he really wanted to go on a date with me and I was like, no. Anyway, he was like, "Can I just take you out on a date? Let's go to this place." It was called Kwan Brothers back in the day in Brizzy. It's not there anymore. So then he messages me during the day and he goes, "Hey, why don't you meet me in the city at Starbucks first?" And I was like, "Okay, that's nowhere near Kwan Brothers though." And he was like, "Yeah, just meet me at Starbucks." I meet him at Starbucks and his mum is there. His mum is there.
You are lying.
Shout out Claire if you hear this. She was so gorgeous and such a beautiful human being. But her son, it was like, he's the spawn of Satan. How did you create this devil man? So I think that he almost wanted to pretend to his mum that I was his girlfriend. And I was just
like long term?
I don't know. I saw him a few years back and he goes, "Oh, my mum still asks about you." And I was like, cool, please leave me alone. Day gets worse. Okay. So we get to the restaurant and I am starving because I haven't eaten all day. I'm like, I'm ready for a feed. So I get enough food for about 4 people. The food comes and I'm, chowing down. And I look to my left and I remember this so clearly. He's just like sitting back like this and he's drinking his beer. And I'm like, "Aren't you going to have anything?" And he goes, "Oh, I've already been to Nando's. I had a half a chicken. I'm full."
A half a chicken before a date?
Half a chicken before a date.
That also seems like a risky thing to have before a date. Like half a chicken.
I was gobsmacked. I was like,
yeah.
So why did you let me order all this food? And he was like, "Because you wanted it." And I was like, no. I didn't want all the food. I thought we were sharing. Anyway, so I had to call my mum. I had to go into the bathroom and call my mum because this was years ago. And I was like, "Mum, I need you to spot me like $200. But I came out and he did pay for everything, thank goodness. But
that's good.
That was a terrible date.
As he should though, as well. How dare you invite me to dinner and not actually eat dinner? I think that's so bizarre.
Oh, so bizarre. Oh, and the fact that I met his mother in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I love how we're like not focusing on that, but we're talking about him not eating dinner. That's even crazier.
Shane, it gets worse. The story keeps going.
Yeah.
Like, so we pay for dinner and he goes, oh, do you want to get a drink? And I was like, okay, sure.
I mean, he's just paid for dinner, doll. You can't, you know what I mean?
I was like, oh, fine.
You got to go for the drink.
You pretty much have to roll me out of here because I've eaten enough for 4 people, but sure, let's go get a drink. And my friend was in the area and so was his. So we're like, oh, well, let's bring them along. We'll just like have a drink together. My friend comes, his friend comes, and I don't know why I said this, but when his friend came, I said, oh my God, wow, your teeth are so straight. And his friend sits down and the guy that I'm on a date with says, get up to his friend. And he's like, we'll be back. They never came back. Me and my friend was sitting there for 45 minutes just chatting away. And I was like, wow, they're taking a long time in the toilet. And my friend's like, Ali, they're gone. They left.
Oh
and so
my
I text him
God.
and I say, oh, sick. Like, thanks a lot. And he goes, oh, well, if you like him so much, I'll get him to message you his dentist. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? And he's like flirting with him right in front of me. And I was like, oh my God, you are a psycho. That was the worst date I've ever been on.
Oh my God.
And
that's crazy.
My favorite bit is when he messaged me like a few weeks later, be like, hey, we should go out again. That was so much fun. I was like, no, it wasn't. That was awful.
That was my version of hell.
Yeah. But thanks for the food.
Yeah. Thanks for the feed, doll, but it's a no from me.
It is. You know, my friend, she had this awful date where she was with this guy watching a movie and she noticed he was a little bit off and she was like, hey, have you had a couple of drinks or something? Are you okay? He goes, oh no, I've been self-microdosing acid.
Stop.
And she's like, sorry? And he's like, yeah, my parents are psychologists and I read this paper on my dad's desk and it was all about microdosing acid and how it can really help people. And she's like, I don't think it's like self-prescribed microdosing though, right? And he's like, yeah, I know, but I thought I'd just give it a go.
I think that's like, babe, how about you talk to mummy and daddy and see if you can go through the program with them? I'm not going to yuck someone's yum either. If they want to microdose. You know, that's up to you, but don't do it on your first date, you know? So let's jump into our confessions. We've had some people write in sharing their worst date stories as well. Obviously, because this is in the vault, we are going to keep their names in the vault, but we are going to share the juicy deets and let's dissect them a little bit.
I'm so excited for this. So we have both selected some stories and neither of us have heard the stories. So we're kind of listening along with you.
Fresh ears.
Fresh ears.
Fresh ears and fresh eyes. Ali, this one's called, I've dubbed it, Strumming My Heartstrings, brackets, not. So this starts with, hi, Ali and Shane. I went on a date with this guy and he wanted to go to the movies, which honestly was already a bit of a red flag because it's not exactly a situation where you can have an engaging conversation and really get to know someone. Can I just say, never suggest a movie to me as our first date.
Never.
Like, I don't want to go to the cinema on my first date.
I just want to have a chat.
Yeah, I want to have a chit chat. I want to get to know you. You know what I mean? First off, it's a Bruce Springsteen film, which at its core isn't horrible, but wouldn't be my first choice. Anyway, we're halfway through this film and my date starts seductively singing the lyrics to one of the songs in my ear, which is already so off-putting.
No, sorry, it's such
I
an
know,
cringe. It's like, no, when people like serenade, I remember I went to this restaurant once, there was a singer there and he got off his chair and started walking around and he started serenading me and I had to literally leave. I ran out of the restaurant. I hate that.
No, embarrassing. I mistakenly decide after the movie to go back to his place in the hopes that he might be able to salvage this date, ... and it only gets worse from there, ... Oh my God, girl, you in danger, girl. We're in his lounge room when he proceeds to pick up his guitar, which was sitting next to his lounge as if it was beckoning to be played. Lol. He starts singing Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol.
No.
I know. I would die. As you can imagine, I was chasing my Uber to get the hell out of there. I was absolutely mortified and his singing was subpar at best. Lol.
I don't know what to say.
I know. I would be absolutely absolutely mortified. Can I say, as a former singer, as a retired singer,
What?
I would never sing to someone.
Sorry.
Oh, have we never discussed this?
No, you're not. Are you being a dick?
I am. No, I'm not. I promise you I am. I used to
Wait.
sing.
What?
I used to sing Hello Church Choir, and then I started going to professional singing lessons.
All right, give us a tune.
I used to sing here and there. No, I'm not doing that.
Ah.
No. Ah. Doll, hit me with the first story.
Okay.
I'm intrigued.
You know, it's actually funny that you say that you had a movie theatre one because I have a movie theatre one.
Stop. Can I say movie theaters are like the pits of hell for dates? Never take someone, guys, if you're listening to this and you're even considering taking someone to the movies or cinema for your first date, please do not, because you will regret it. Okay?
No, I agree. It's just so awkward because you have no time
That's
to
awkward.
talk and you've got you're starting not knowing each other at the beginning. So you're like just warming up and then you've got to watch the movie. And then at the end, you're cold again. You've got to like re-warm up and then it's like, oh, well, bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I say as well, before we jump over to the next one, I actually did have a first date at a cinema and this guy wanted me to like touch his legs and stuff. And I was like, babe, I don't even know your last name.
Oh
Come
my
on.
God. Men are so like that, aren't they?
Yeah, gross.
Okay, here's my cinema story. Let's call it Muty McMute because I didn't create a name and I'm just sort of off the cuff right now. High in the vault, I matched with a guy on Tinder and we were texting for weeks, like proper back and forth, good banter, long messages. How good is that initial chatting phase?
But can I say the chatting phase needs to end quick? I think 2 to 3 weeks is too long. So
I agree.
Josh, and it's funny because I used to do this prior to being married to Josh. I would always chat to guys for like a month before I even went on a date with them. And
then you've run out of things to talk about.
That's right. You get there and it fizzles. Whereas like Josh, I think I was chatting to for like a week before we just went on a date and worked a lot better because we got to know a lot more about each other and kind of learn each other IRL, you know?
That's such a good point. Well, she says, he works FIFO, which means fly in, fly out. So we couldn't catch up any earlier, but we eventually moved to text and then we did FaceTimes. Okay, so it's like the FaceTimes, we're almost seeing each other components.
You've seen each other.
Essentially. Yeah. We went to the movies for our first date and I was so excited. I thought we'd probably grab a bite to eat after as well. That did not happen. Now, I understand you don't talk during a movie. But this man did not talk before the movie or after. It was so awkward, and because he was awkward, I couldn't think of anything to say. But when I did, I was met with the shortest answers that were dead ends. So it's like he wasn't even nervous. He's just not talking to you?
Just not talkative. But like, I wonder what the banter was like on text and on FaceTime. Were they talking a lot? She hasn't given that context. Obviously they were. If you're having FaceTimes with someone and you're texting all the time, then obviously you must be texting and talking a fair bit.
Well, they said like proper back and forth, good banter, long messages.
Oh,
so
okay. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
thinking it's like constant. They're at a constant now. And then he's gone
daily.
all orkies when they've actually met. Maybe he thought, oh, she's too hot for me kind of thing.
Or maybe he's a bit fridgy poo. Yeah. Maybe he's a bit frigid.
Oh, yeah, true. When I got home, he messaged me saying, we should do this again sometime. What is with men after the worst date of your damn life saying, we should do this again sometime? Let's never do this ever again.
Dead.
In fact, never do this to anyone else.
How about we take this and we learn from it? Okay. This is my feedback.
Yeah. She said, needless to say, there was no second date.
I have another one for you.
Okay.
So another name I've given it is Training to be Single.
Ooh.
What do you think it's about?
Okay, I think she hates her partner and she hasn't cheated. Oh no. Oh yeah. Oh, she hates her partner and she's going on dates to see if she can find like someone to replace him.
Okay, interesting take. Let me launch into it. Hey Shane, one time I was on a date and for context, I have a huge phobia of train tracks. Is this going where you thought it was going? Not trains themselves, but I will only step over the yellow line if I'm boarding or hopping on and off a train. I don't even like waiting on the platform for too long. My preference is to be there no more than a minute before the train arrives. You know what? I kind of get it. I'm a bit scared of train tracks too.
Is she scared of being like thrown off?
Well, I'm scared I'll fall in. Or someone will push me.
Yeah.
I get that. I kind of
I
get
get
that fear.
that.
After what I would classify as a good date, we were waiting on the platform and I shared this fear with him. He seemed to think we were comfortable enough to hold me close to the ledge as the train began to barrel into the platform. Best believe he stayed on that platform and I went home to a packet of Oreos. Who needs a man when you have American confectionery?
Wait,
Lol.
he like fake pushed
So he
her?
like held the person. I mean, it's actually a boy. It's two men that did this.
Did I just assume someone's gender?
Yeah, you did.
No, I'm
Gender assuming, jail.
sorry.
Jail, babes. Jail.
I'm so sorry.
But yeah, held them over the yellow line as the train was coming in. Also, first and foremost, where was Transit Authority then? Hey? Because you shouldn't be over the yellow line when a train is coming or going. Or you should never be over the yellow line.
I would almost say that's attempted murder.
Agreed.
I would get you for that.
I do too.
Okay. This one says, I have an unhinged one. Shane, you're not ready for this one. What should I call it? I'm going to call it slobby gobby.
Oh!
I once went on a date with a guy to Nando's. The dinner itself was actually...
God, can I just say, Nando's needs to
fast.
sponsor this episode. Nando's getting so much airtime.
I once went on a date with a guy to Nando's. The date itself was actually nice and everything seemed normal. When he was dropping me home afterwards, though, he randomly detoured to his old primary school, which was on the way.
Random.
That is random. He said to me he wanted to stop and sit in the field for a bit because he hadn't been there in years. I mean, I can't think of the last time I went to my primary school. We sat down on a bench and out of nowhere he says, "Can you give me a gobby?"
Let me tell you what I'm not doing. Giving a guy a blowjob if he calls it a gobby. I'm not giving a guy a blowjob if he calls it a gobby.
This is like
and at the primary school, this is childhood trauma.
Yeah. This is bringing back
oh my God.
situations. I politely declined because call me old-fashioned, but I'm not giving head on a primary school field.
No.
Yes, I agree.
Yes, girl. Yes, girl.
He then shrugged and said, "What about a handy?"
Okay, so we're negotiating.
A footy? No, okay.
Peace.
Yeah.
Gross.
Okay. I declined again, and this man literally stood up and walked away. He just left. I yelled out after him asking how I was supposed to get home, and he didn't even respond. To this day, I've never told my cousins. Oh, I would be telling my cousins. I'd be telling my whole family.
I'd be dobbing.
I would say, call this guy Slobby Gobby from now on, guys. Slobby Gobby. Like, there'd be chants. You know what I mean? As he entered the room. To this day, I have never told my cousins, and I still see him around occasionally. He acts like nothing happened. Oh, they do,
That's
don't
so
they?
Bad.
They do, don't they?
They always act like it never happened. That is crazy.
A wine after that one. I need a wine and a cold press. You guys, that is the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for joining us.
So guys, the next podcast episode will be my most embarrassing social moment.
Foot and mouth disease.
Foot and mouth disease, doll. Me and Ali have many. She has more than me. We'll see you next week, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.